Greetings everybody. Greetings one and all. I greet everybody well. I equally welcome everybody to today's podcast. My name is NKAR and I bring you the Divine Cypher. Welcome to today's audio podcast once again. Today we are going to touch on the Entered Apprentice degree in Freemasonry, and I believe that before this podcast goes to an end, we might have learned a lot, which is going to help all of us on our journey. True seekers don't stop learning. We always keep on researching. Until we find the truth, we don't rest. And I'm only glad and happy that I'm also here to add my voice and to also teach and to let you also learn from what I have also experienced during my quest or into my spiritual inquisition as a mason, as a mystic. As a servant of the light, a practitioner of the light, I haven't stopped learning because there is more to learn and there's a lot to learn until we enter into the grave. We don't cease learning. We will always keep on learning. It's only an honor that we wake up every day to a full awareness of ourselves, that we have breath in us, that we need to make good use of the breath of life that we have within us, to seek, and then to also aspire to learn and to acquire more higher wisdom, more esoteric knowledge, more occult knowledge of our own existence and how we coexist within this vast universe or universes. Beloved, it marks a time whereby we need to seek for truth. Before we we go deep into today's lesson, I would like us to take a pause over here and then sing the open ode. Once I'm talking about Masonic topic or subjects or lectures, we need to open the lodge or we need to open this podcast and then close with an ode. Thank you all for joining me as we begin.
Hail, eternal, by whose aid all created things were made. Heaven and earth, thy vast design, hear us, architect divine. May our work be done in thee, ever blessed with order be, and may we, when labor cease, part in harmony and peace. By thy glorious majesty, by the trust we place in thee, by the evangelistic sign, hear us, architect divine. So did thee.
O adorable Lord, mercy and love, salutations and prostrations unto thee. Thou art truth, existence, and consciousness. Thou art the omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. Thou art the indweller of all beings. Grant us an understanding heart, equal vision, balanced mind, faith, devotion, and wisdom. Grant us inner spiritual strength to resist temptations and to control the mind. Free us all from egoism, lust, greed, anger, and hatred. Fill our hearts with divine virtues. Let us behold Thee in all these names and forms. Let us serve Thee in all these names and forms. Let us ever remember Thee. Let us ever sing Thy glories. Let Thy name be ever on our lips. Let us abide in Thee forever and ever. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Peace, Peace, Peace. Supreme Spirit, lead us from untruth to truth. Lead us from death to immortality. And lead us all from darkness to light. Om Peace, Peace, Peace. Oh. Greetings once again. I greet you all well, brethren and sisters of the light and of the truth, true aspirants and divine seekers of light and knowledge, of light and of the darkness, the yin and the yang. I bring you greetings once again, and my name is NKAR, and today marks the second episode of our daily podcast, Unveiling the Mysteries of Freemasonry, Part 2. And today I would like to touch on the first degree, the entered apprentice degree. Look at a few things within the craft, masonry. I will try not to make this podcast or this lecture long, probably make it a bit shorter. So as we all know, there are three, or basically 4, but as far as we know, 3 major lodges within Freemasonry, which is the Blue Lodge, the Red Lodge, then the White Lodge. And definitely I believe that there is always a Black Lodge somewhere. There's always the Dark Lodge. But as far as we know, there is the blue and the red, and of course the white. But what mostly we speak of is the blue and then the red lodge. The blue lodge consists of the 3 major degrees, which qualifies every Mason to aspire to attaining to the higher degrees within the Red Lodge. So the 3 basic degrees are the first degree, the second, and of course the third, which in craft masonry we term as the entered apprentice being the first degree, and then the second degree being fellow craft, and then the third degree being the master mason, the sublime degree of the master mason. And as time goes on, we will be touching on them one after the other. So our journey is a long journey. I only speak for those who are willing to learn the truth and to acquire spiritual truth, in all aspects of our existence. As far as I know, I will know how to share. And I welcome your comments and your questions, your petitions, as well as we move. Let's all come together and create a beautiful community for ourselves as light seekers. This was what our ancient fathers were doing, when like-minded people agree and come together, they create a community, then they learn, they research amongst themselves, they share knowledge together. This is what some of us seek to achieve. And in this era, it's an era of information whereby we don't have the luxury to sit on information wherever it is coming from. We need to open our minds and learn. And whatever I'm speaking on craft masonry, please take it from a practitioner, a brother of the Lord. My name is NKAR once again, and I'm a member of Victoria Lodge, number 2392 EC in Ghana, Accra to be precise. That's my mother lodge. And I would like to, encourage everybody that if you have the privilege and the honor to become one, please take it. It's a good offer. It's a glory. It's going to help you to learn. Masonry is an order of symbols. It's a symbolic society, and symbols carry secret teachings. That is why they say Freemasonry is a secret society. It's not a society which has a lot of secrets like that. And of course, everybody who does not conceal certain things is stupid. Excuse my language. Everybody or every organized society which does not conceal certain aspects of his existence or of its existence is not a wise, or is not a godly or an esoteric order to be followed. Every esoteric or organized esoteric society or occult society conceals certain aspects of their organization. It's not everything. Certain things are being kept for members. Even in our private schools, in our club, in our SRCs and all those that we have in our schools. It's not everything that is being open in the public. Certain things are being kept in archives, or certain things are being kept among the members, the inside members. So why do people still have a darkened mentality about the craft that they are keeping secret from the public? They do not want them to know. It's not true. The symbols which are being initiated and bestowed onto we the initiate is deeper than ourselves. That is why after your initiation you are charged to go and initiate yourself again. You will have to go and find yourself again, for the truth has been given to you through the symbols and the working tools which have been entrusted unto you, and your badge as a distinguishing figure. So they give you the tools which is going to help you, to rebuild yourself and to find yourself and into building yourself to emerge as the God that you are created to become. That is your birthright. It's our birthright to become God on the face of this earth. And it takes only knowledge that differentiates man from the ordinary. It takes only knowledge that differentiates the gods from humans. So without wasting much time, I would like to touch on the topic of the entered apprentice degree. That being the first and primordial or primal degree that every candidate is supposed to endure before probably gaining access into the sanctorum arcanum to be restored unto the privileges and mysteries of Freemasonry. There are a lot of symbols within that craft, and in that craft, esoterically or spiritually, as we would say, it carries a lot of benefit onto the initiate. Initiate in the sense that before you will be initiated, you are a candidate, and after being initiated, you become an initiate, and you can be called a brother when you are being placed in the northeastern part of the lodge. All these things are symbolic. One will ask himself, why in the northeastern part? They are all symbolic. The northeastern part is the dark. It's a dark part, closer to the sun. Northeast in the sense that the sun rises from the east, and darkness always sets in the north. And you see, the first initiate of the first degree is always admitted in the state of darkness, meaning the initiate is being admitted in the state of ignorance, knowing nothing, kept in the darkness for long, now coming of his own free will and accord to be admitted into the privileges and mysteries of Freemasonry, to be restored unto light, divine. So it is only wise that this candidate or this initiate be placed in the northeastern part of the lodge, closer to the sun. So he is in the north, in the regions of the dark, but due to the sun shining or rising from the east, so he's always on the right hand of the worshipful master. So he's trying to teach the initiate, and these are things that will not be taught to you. That is why they say you have to go and then initiate yourself again. So you have to go and then sit and commune with the divine within you. Him who knows all things already shall teach and shall guide you from the stellar realm to the higher degrees of your own existence. The initiate is being led into the room of contemplation before approaching the door. All these things have meanings. It's teaching you that before every man, or before you embark upon anything or take any decision, you must contemplate. You must sit firm. Contemplation is always in a state of silence. You cannot contemplate upon something whilst in the state of where there is noise or there is disorder. It must always be in a state of calmness, in a state of consciousness. So you see, when this is done, now the initiate has finally decided for himself that he is ready to embark upon the journey ahead of him. And as part of his regalias or his preparation to be admitted and be restored unto light, he is being hanged with a cable tow. It means all these things has meaning. It has deeper esoteric and occult meaning. This is where some people will say they are hanging ropes on our neck as a symbol of, I heard one conspiracy theory saying Masons hang people, and the rope being hung on your neck, they're going to ride you like a goat, and when you misbehave, they're going to hang you and they kill you in the form of a suicide, and they leave you hanging on a tree or something like that. All these things are theories. coming from people who are some are disappointed Masons, and some too are just people who just don't like the craft. Probably they tried to be admitted and they failed. And out of their disappointment will start spewing evil and all forms of negativities. Trust me, certain candidates are being admitted, and in the course of the ceremony, they get scared because you are in the state of darkness, and because of the negative things you've heard in your mind, they stop and they go out and they don't even proceed. During my time of initiation, when I was being blindfolded and I entered into the Lord, the first thing that was met before me was a poignard, a sharp pointed object, which was pierced to my left naked breast. And I felt it, So at this moment, all these things that I was reading, I was watching on the internet and reading the conspiracy theories started running through my mind. So it was then I understood why certain people get to this point and they run away. I felt very heavy on my shoulders because I was in the state of darkness. I didn't even know what I was about to be unveiled onto. So once you have decided, contemplated over it, and you've decided and you're ready to embark upon this journey, you have to be ready. So finally, after I was being restored to material light within the lodge, and my eyes was open to see the settings of the inner room and whatever activity that was going on. Honestly, my first time, I never felt anything special. Never. I never felt anything special. After I was restored to light and the blindfold was taken off my eyes, I only saw that everything is like a normal thing. I never saw anything different. I was thinking these conspiracy theories that I've been reading online and all those things I've been hearing on the internet, I was going to see something, something which is beyond me. I was normal. But you see, that is what most candidates miss. You are not supposed to search for those things. Search for joy. So after my ceremony, I met with our secretary, who is a worship master now. He told me that yes, it is true. Most of them felt the same, nothing special, until they witnessed another brother being initiated, going through the same ceremony that I went through. That is when I will begin to appreciate what I went through, and the joy will begin to visit me in my heart. And it was true. I was in the Lord's room witnessing another brother being initiated, and I was just smiling within my heart. A joy which is more, which I can't comprehend, And after the ceremony and banquet, I felt joyful, and that was when I really began to understand what really is in the craft that keeps older men still within the Lord. They are old with walking sticks, but they will still come for Lord meetings, regular meetings. It is the joy of brotherhood that keeps the Masons together. Nothing more but joy and love. So the entered degree or the entered apprentice degree is always the important one. When you miss that point, the journey through Masonry, I'm not sure you're going to enjoy or even make meanings out of the following degrees. The first degree must not be missed. Everything within the first degree, you must be able to grasp it, understand it, and then live with it or abide by the tenets within that peculiar degree. And as we all know, Freemasonry is a peculiar system of morality veiled in allegory and illustrated by symbols. That is the meaning of Freemasonry. It is a peculiar system of morality, veiled in allegory and illustrated by symbols. So if you really want to know the secret of Freemasonry, get the meaning within the symbols. Because symbols are silent. I call them the silent book. As a particular, just a single symbol being entrusted into you or onto you, it's a whole compendium. It's a book that needs to be really studied well, because every line within every symbol has what it's telling you. So it's not a joke. It's something bigger and deeper than us that we need to pay more attention to than to criticize and to ridicule. If you don't understand it, say you don't understand and get understand it. So there is circumambulation in the first degree, or even in all the degrees. So the most peculiar thing to every entered apprentice is him being admitted in the state of darkness, being met with a poignard, a sharp-pointed object, a poignard like a short knife to your chest. It's telling you, or it's teaching you, that in life there are obstacles. And when you are being met with an obstacle, there is one that you must put your faith in, and that is God. So in times of all difficulties and in danger, in whom would you put your trust? The answer is always God. This you must learn in the first degree. And this is the core of every Mason. In times of dangers and in difficulties, in whom do you put your trust? The answer is always God, the great architect of the universe. And another peculiar thing is the entered apprentice being placed in the northeastern part of the lodge, meaning still in the state of darkness. Now that you've been restored unto light, the sun also rises from the east. So it is always wise that you be placed in the northeastern part of the lodge, closer to the sun. In this sense, the great light in the lodge is the watchful master, the volume of the sacred law. And in every degree has a tracing board. And the most important thing over here, on the tracing board, it is on this board that all our duties and our tasks as Masons is being written. And it needs to be studied very well. I'll pause here. I promise not to make this video short or this audio short. So I'm going to pause here and then I will continue in the next video, touching more on the tracing board and what it really represents in the first degree. I wish you all well. I wish you all well. I wish you all well. And as the light of wisdom ever shines, guided by the square and compass divine, in truth, in love, in honor we stand, bound by the grapes of a brother's hand. Let the gene above watch over thee, with faith, with hope, in harmony, till labor's end and rest is won. So motivate our way.
Now the evening shadows closing, worn from toil to peaceful rest, mystic hearts and rites reposing, sacred in each faithful breast. God of light, whose love unceasing doth to all thy works extend, crown our order with thy blessing, build, sustain us to the end. Humbly now we bow before thee, grateful for thine aid divine, everlasting So